Um, yeah, that's what I like about it. I was kind of back and forth because I was like, I kind of want to just send one message at a time. I think there's a minimum number of messages that you have to send at one time in order for it to work. Because like I want to.
In addition, if I can interrupt you one more. If I can interrupt you one more second, William. I was talking to another member at that conference, and he said, yeah, if I don't like clients that I'm working with, I just send them a quick message using Sly Broadcast, and he gets his point across, but he doesn't have to get into texting, or he just leaves them a voicemail. So pretty effective, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to do it. I'd like to use it on a trial. I wish that was possible to separate it out, because I have different voicemails that I'd want to send for my past clients and my my currents, or my clients who haven't been on the website or my website in a while, or haven't had any engagement with me in a while. Do you know how the I know you have to record a voice message and then upload it. Where are you supposed to record that at, or do they provide like a tool for you to just open it up and record it and then they save it for you? Do you know about that?
It's been a couple months since I fooled around with it. It was fourth quarter of last year that I started getting into it, and I think it's just a video or a audio clip that you record yourself and save it as a file. And then in terms of phone numbers, if I can recall, I think it's as simple as an Excel spreadsheet that you just you upload into their system.
Okay, so you record it separately and then you just upload it, and you can, I guess, name it and then send that out if you want to. Okay, that makes sense.
And you really got to be careful on the. There was another guy that was using it that said he was in California at a conference and then sending messages or phone messages to people on the East Coast, and he had the time zone incorrect. It was just a simple mistake. So the big thing is, when you get into this and set it for the time, make sure you are clear on when you want this stuff to go. You don't want it at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m.,
Right. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on Sly Broadcast that maybe I didn't ask or we didn't cover? Again, this is all open forum. There's no structure here. This is all for us to get on, talk about tools, and ask the questions that we may want to ask about certain tools. If you want to talk about a different type of tool that you're using or that you're thinking about using, now would be the time to bring that up, and let's pull it up and talk about it with the group. I'll wait a minute and see if anybody has any questions about anything right now. All right, can you all hear me still? Just want to make sure. Or are you guys all set on Sly Broadcast and what it does and how it works? Are there any alternatives to this program? The only one that I know of is their sister or brother company, or whatever you want to call it, Sly Dial, which is, like I said, a kind of a pay-as-you-go, 10 cents per voicemail type of thing. And I know they have a free option, but the free option doesn't work very well. I kind of think that's purposely done so you sign up for for a different plan. But it's the one you do one by one. So if you have a lead come in and you want to call it via Sly Dial and bypass their ringer and go straight to their voicemail, that's what you would use for that. I don't know. I know there's a couple of other companies out there, but I don't think they have it as streamlined and have it down as good as Sly Dial does. Jason, you can chime in if you want.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on that one.
Okay. Well, I know Doug Laney is here. He wants to present on Listing Booster, and that's one that I'm actually digging into right now myself. I'm pretty excited about it. I've had access to it for a while, and I've never really utilized it to its full potential. And Doug does a lot of this stuff, and he's actually asking a question. It would be nice if LionDesk would add this. There's another CRM that this type of feature integrated, but it's $200 a month. Sorry for the broken read there. The chat box is really small on my side, guys. So Doug, are you ready to hop on here? Doug says we need to start asking LionDesk to start doing this with the Sly Dial. I think it would be a pretty cool feature to have integrated with the CRM, so you could just call straight from there. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Doug right now. Or Doug, can you, if you don't have a mic, I can send you the number to call in so we can chat.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yep, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can everybody else hear Doug?
So,
all right, Doug, I'm gonna have you hold on for a second. I want to pass you the screen. Let's see. I'll make
Okay.
it. So go ahead and pull up Listing Booster. So that way that's showing, and then I'm gonna make you the presenter.
Okay. Just while you're doing that, I'm sure most people that are using LionDesk are probably in the group. Like, it wouldn't hurt to start a thread to maybe like get that conversation started, because from what I see, the owners they're pretty excited about the product, and they seem to be. I might have to download something for this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, do that while we're talking. It may boot you off, and then just when you come back on, you'll be able to present. But let's talk about LionDesk. I'm sure there's quite a few people in here that want to know more about LionDesk as well.
So it seems like the owners are, excited about their product. I mean, they know they've got something good, and seem to be wanting to improve it. They're not just happy with what they have, and maybe like getting on starting a thread in their group, which the owners are interacting in, and talking about that. I mean, I'm sure people wouldn't even. I mean, everybody pays like $25 a year to add on the custom text number. I mean, I'm sure they could add it on and, charge for it. People would probably be willing to pay for that service where it's all integrated. There's another CRM called Agent Legend. It does some things that LionDesk doesn't, but overall, it's 8 times the price of LionDesk. So it needs to do a lot more than LionDesk to really justify going with that. But I know it can be done because they have it set up with theirs. My company also has it set up with some stuff that we do, but they spent a boatload of money to get that thing built. I think a couple $100,000. So that's not really an option in itself. But maybe we could get a thread started and get the conversation going on that, so they can start looking into adding that. I mean, that would be an awesome feature I think if you added that to LionDesk, it would be a complete package. So I am trying to, can you see my screen?
Sorry, I was on mute. I can see your screen.
Okay.
Let me tell you what Jim just said.
Okay, I need to know which screen do y'all see, because I have 2 screens up.
Yeah, it looks like the Listing Booster PowerPoint that we're seeing right now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. So Jim Birdsong said, the LionDesk owner is very responsive. He fixed an issue and responded to his Facebook post about an issue late in the weekend, and great service. And I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but when you sign up for LionDesk, your very first contact in there is David. I'm assuming that's the owner of LionDesk. And, you'd think that number in there is a dummy number, but I believe that's actually his direct line. So he does respond. He is very, and I've heard this from a few people, he's very responsive. You can email him or contact him pretty much any way, and he'll respond to you pretty quickly. So it's pretty good support, whereas like I love Conversion personally. It is expensive, but on the flip side of that, they're going through a transition, and their support it could be a lot better. So that's really good to hear on LionDesk. I like to know that when I train people, I'm recommending a really good product. All right, Doug, I'm going to let you go ahead and present on Listing Booster, because I think there's still a lot of things in here that even I need to learn right now.
Yeah. So for the people that aren't familiar with it, I'm just going to go through a really quick presentation. So, oh, there's a little bit of like, so one thing that Listing Booster does, it takes your listings, it creates a single property website. If you have access to ListHub with your brokerage, it'll do this. It'll download all the stuff automatically. If not, it seriously takes like 5 minutes to put your listing into here. You just download the pictures, go through, list the descriptions. It's simple. So once you do that, you upload your pictures and your descriptions of the property. It automatically creates a virtual tour, a YouTube video. You can direct social media sharing. You can create Craigslist posts, put the nice little cool, it makes these little widget looking things for you. But the main thing on Craigslist, if you do use this feature, I think there's some pros and cons to it, is that you put one picture up and you basically ask them to text and message the code for that house. You will capture their information right away. The one thing I'll say I don't like about that is you're going to have that same rider on your property sign, so you don't know if somebody's actually at the property. I personally don't like to use a Craigslist because I know that if I get a text message, that's somebody at that property. They're sitting in front of that property. So next thing, basically, like I mentioned, the sign riders, when somebody's, driving by looking at the property, they can text a keyword to a 878787 number, and they will get a text message right away with the basic information on the property and a link to do a mobile home tour.
Hey, Doug, so Robert's asking, speaking of Craigslist, has anyone had any success with listings on there? I personally haven't. I've gotten a few responses from posting on Craigslist. I don't do it anymore. I kind of feel like it's starting to become like, eBay losing to Amazon. It's just slowly kind of trending off, and clients are moving more towards, and I'm going to say the Z word here, but everybody's starting to search Zillow, so I make sure that my listings are at least up there and they're correct and they're loaded properly. But I personally don't have much success at all with Zillow. I don't know if anyone else has.
Yeah.
You can comment in the chat box if you have for Robert to see.
And speaking of, well, let me touch on Craigslist. I think it depends on your market that you're in and what you're trying to do with it. As far as Zillow, you can actually use this listing booster to help pull people away from Zillow, so they don't send their end up sending their information to one of the premier agents or even possibly the listing agent on that. That's one of the nice features about this thing. This is what the sign writer looks like, or one of the standard ones. You can get them custom. You're basically assigned text codes. You could have anything made that has your text codes on it. It'll also automatically generate these flyers for you. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse or not, but in the top right, it has like the whatever that QRT code is and the phone, picture of the phone. I use Adobe DC. It's like 10 or 15 bucks a month, and I can edit PDFs. I just take that out, and I just add a few more pictures. Nobody uses that as far as I know. So what I want to do is show you all the interface. And then, okay. So here's the thing with Listing Booster. It's gonna be another tool for you to have that you can present to your potential seller to help you win the listing. Will it help you sell the house? Maybe, but they're going to see it. And they're going to think it's really cool. Like you've got all this extra technology that other agents aren't presenting to them. The main thing really is it's going to help you get more leads off of that property, whether it's text leads or web leads, which I'll dive into in a second. But what you're hoping is somebody comes by the house, they text to get that information. Right away, you get their number. You call them up. You say, This is Doug with ABC Realty. I see that you, you're doing a mobile tour of the home. Ask if they got any questions, or really ask if they're working with the agent. Just ask that right away. And if they say yes, say, great, who's your agent? Because a lot of times people say that, and they're bullshitting you. Ask who their agent is. Say, great, who's your agent? And I'll contact them and set up an appointment. And at that time, they will give you their agent's name or say, well, I don't really have an agent, But you're hoping that they don't have an agent, so you can say, great, like if this property doesn't work for you, I have a lot of other properties that I could send you. It's a way to, to hook these people, bring them in. That's one of the coolest features about this, I think. The other really cool feature is the web leads. So I'm going to log into an agent's account and show y'all one that I just helped the other day.
Yeah, what Doug's about to show you guys is a really cool way to just generate a bunch of emails and names. They may not be the hottest leads ever, right? But you need them for your pipeline. If you can get them in there and get them on your drip campaigns. The cool thing is Listing Booster has an integration through Zapier, which I'm sure a few of you on here have taken my training so far. It's the tool that I use to bridge between one lead capturing source and sending it into your CRM. So that way when these leads come in, it automatically sends it to your CRM and drops it on a drip campaign. So even if these people are just browsing or 6 months out or 9 months out, whatever, they're still in your CRM. And I believe on this one, Doug picked up quite a lot of leads in a very short amount of time at no cost. No matter how cold or hot they are, they're still going to get your initial email, and you can send them custom emails from your Listing Booster. From your CRM if you want. And at the end of the day, a lead is a lead, whether it's 2 months out or 12 months out. They're in your system and they know who you are now. So, Doug, sorry about that. I just wanted to.
Exactly. So, and I'm going to talk to you about that and a few ways to parlay those leads. First, I just want to show you, this is what the website would look like. Like, say if somebody clicks on your link, say you post on Facebook, this is going to pop up after a few seconds. Most people are going to continue with Facebook. If they don't, they're going to have to enter an email address. I'll just do continue with email, and then it asks you for your name and phone number, and you have to enter all this information. I would say that 95% of the people are just going to log in with Facebook. I think we got just out of 100 leads that came in, like maybe 5 of them entered their information. Enter their name, phone number, and email. The rest of them just log in with Facebook, so you get their name and you get their email. So I'm going to show you the property that we did for him or help to promote was this one.
And guys, don't be afraid to ask questions along the way.
We did this last week. I'm going to go to his dashboard and look at his web leads. He wasn't doing this before. 136 web leads. It looks like the last one was on the 23rd. And a handful of those were from me when I was testing it out. But, okay. Let's see. Yeah, so on the 18th, we did that. That was Wednesday. Between Wednesday and Thursday, in 48 hours, I got like over 50 leads, just organic, without paying, just by putting it on my personal Facebook page. We didn't put it into groups. I was just showing, trying to show them what this could do for them. We didn't put it into groups. It was just my page, and a few people shared it, and whoever, use your syndicate. Ask friends to share it. Ask the sellers to share it. Ask them to ask their family members to sell it, because here's the thing. It's going to get in front of all of their friends that you're not friends with. That's how you can just really web out and branch out and get it in front of a lot more people. So I helped him boost this post, and he spent like $10 over the weekend. And, basically we, take off 6 leads for a couple that I put in. I think he put in 1. So he got 136 leads. He spent like $10. And that's 130 emails, names and emails that he has. Now you can use your Facebook pixel and add it in the listing booster so you can retarget these people, or you can just use their email address and name and retarget them in Facebook with a custom audience like that. So you can continue to be in front of these people on Facebook if you want to run an ad towards them. Or, of course, you're going to put them in your CRM. You're not going to hammer these people. They didn't request to be contacted. These are people that are interested enough to put their information in to view a property. So at some point, they may become buyers or they may become sellers. It's all about being in front of people. It's working that sphere. It's expanding your sphere of influence. It's just an awesome way to be in front of people. I think that's the biggest challenge, is being the first real estate agent to come to mind when somebody decides to buy or sell. And this is the way to do it. This is one property, a few days, an extra 130 people to be in front of. And you know what area they're interested in. I mean, you could even put them in a, maybe a weekly or bi-weekly property search update in that area. One thing you can tell your sellers is that, hey, I'm going to post this ad. I'm going to get a lot of traffic to this page. I'm going to develop an email list of people that have looked at this property, and I'm going to send a direct invite out to these people when I hold an open house. What other agents are doing that? When an agent holds an open house, they're probably going to post it on Facebook and forget to put the address, which I see a lot, but they're going to maybe post it on Facebook, but you're going to send a direct invite to 130-something people for an open house. You're going to beat the other agents out when it comes to competing for a listing. This is one tool that will help you do that. I think that might be, okay. Here's another thing you can do. If anybody's targeting FSBOs, if you want to add a little value to them for free, and you know that they're probably not going to sell their property, I think it's like, 93% of FSBOs sell.
Hey, Doug, I'm gonna interrupt
you. But if you offer them a little bit of...
guys, do you guys have any questions about Listing Booster right now? I want to make sure that we have some interactive activity on the call. So if you have questions, or if there's a section that Doug has covered so far that you want clarification on, let us know. Put it in the chat box real quick. I know there's got to be some questions out there from people on this, because it's a pretty cool tool. It's 136 leads, minus maybe 5 or 6 that were just testing out, and one of them might have been me messing with it, from just posting on his personal wall. Can you imagine how many emails you would get if you just went into a few of your groups that allow you to post that kind of thing? Not realtor groups. You don't want to get a bunch of realtor emails, but like the swap and sell groups, or the, whatever groups that you guys have out there for your community. If you posted it in there and there was thousands of people in it, like there are here, how many emails you would get to put on your drip campaign, and people would immediately start getting your emails. Even if they were all cold, they know who you are now. So there's got to be some questions here. I think I have one right now. Do you think this would work for commercial and or multifamily properties?
Absolutely. You can use it for any type of property. You could, let's say a commercial and multifamily property, you could post this into investor groups and capture leads that way for that. you're not going to have as big of an audience that's interested in this, but it could definitely help. It's not going to hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you stumble upon for me personally, I can't touch on the commercial side of it because I don't do commercial, and I honestly haven't given any thought to how I would be able to implement a tool like this on the commercial side, just simply for lack of experience. It's just not what I do. But from the residential side, and I work with investors. If I picked up, let's say a property that an investor just wanted to pass through real quick, he picked up and he didn't want to fix it, he just wanted to pass it through. And I posted this up in an investor network group. I can't even imagine how many investors would click on it, put their information in, and I could start looking them up on Facebook. I could start looking them up with any kind of prospecting I want and call them and say, hey, I've got this deal. Here's what I'm doing for this guy, and try to flip that investor over to working with you. I don't know what you guys do, but for my investors, I sell the properties for them for little to nothing if they agree to continue using me for all of their buys. So it's a great way for you to pick up a lot of investors. That question came from Maggie. I hope that answered your question. Deborah is asking, can this be connected to our LionDesk account? I'm assuming you mean
Yes.
You mean via like sending the leads in to LionDesk, and yes, it can. I have it connected to my conversion, and I have someone else I just helped connect it to their LionDesk. So just like when we went through, Deborah actually took my training this morning. So just like when we went through connecting your Facebook leads to your LionDesk account, Deborah, it would be the same way. Once you activate lead capture on a listing that you have in Listing Booster, you would make a zap in Zapier, and it would automatically import those leads directly into your LionDesk and drop them on the drip campaign that I created for you. And then Kelly's asking, okay, well, one of Kelly's questions was the same, so I think that answered your question. Then the other one is, can you go over posting it on Facebook again? And then
okay, for posting on Facebook, I'll go ahead and answer that question. So you just post the link, and probably put a little bit of information about it, like I did here. You can see this is the post on my personal page. There's not a whole lot of likes, not a whole lot of comments. I think these 2 shares really helped a lot. And I didn't even reach out to my, syndicate. And I like to use that word, like people that, maybe other business owners, they don't have to be in real estate, but like maybe, a roofer or an electrician, help boost their information on Facebook, and they should help you do the same. And it's not something you're doing like every day, but, I've got a buddy that's a roofer, and I'm like, dude, make a post, I'll share it, comment like, how badass of a roofer you are. I don't even know if he's a good roofer, but I'm expecting him to help me out too. If, I want to get the word out for something. I could have probably gotten like 20 or 30 people to share this. I mean, if I really wanted to, go nuts on it, I just wanted to give this guy an idea of, what he can do with it. Because at the same time, if I've got like, say I've got like 20 different agents with, listings, I don't want to clog my personal page up with like 20 listings a week. What I would do is if I was the real estate agent, I would post it on my page, post it on my business page, so that way if you wanted to boost it, you could. But post it on, tell the sellers, ask them to post it, get them to ask their friends and family to share it, and it's going to help them, sell their house. In reality, it's going to really help you bring in a lot more leads and get in front of a lot more people that you wouldn't be in front of on a daily basis or a weekly or monthly basis. I mean, and some of you may be thinking, okay, what's the catch? How much is it, right? It's a whopping $12 a year. This program only goes through loan officers. It costs us much more than $12 a year. Basically what we do is we buy 100 licenses, and we split one license with the cost of the agent. and that comes out to the $12. So it's basically free. I mean, you could buy your loan officer partner coffee and a bagel and cover the cost of that once.
Hey, Jason
but
asked.
what you do need
Jason
to do is
asked
get hooked up
again.
with the loan officer.
Hey, Jason asked again how much it was. It is $12 a year. If you didn't catch that. And then one question from. It may not have been a question. It may have just been a statement from Jim. Was I saw you can download a list in CVS format, and I know you can upload or you can import via CVS or Excel into LionDesk. That's true, and that's true for most, if not all, CRMs. I mean, there's got to be a way for you to import your legacy clients if you're moving CRMs or if you have a download like that. So yes, if you don't want to spend the $20 a month that it costs for Zapier, and I'll give you this, it'd probably be more because the $20 package on Zapier allows you to do 1,000 leads a month. If you start doing 2 or 3 listings and posting it in groups, you're probably going to far surpass, if you have these kind of results anyway, 1,000 leads a month just by the email. So you'd probably want to upgrade to like the 5,000 or 10,000 package that they have. I think I've never done it because I've never needed to. But it would probably cost you like $50 to $75 to upgrade to like 5,000 zaps, which is 5,000 transfers from one program to another. If you're doing that, but I would personally, I mean, Zapier is not a tool that you use for anything other than transferring leads, and there's a few of them out there. They're just the best one. Again, no affiliation with the company. But I would gladly pay $50 or $75 a month for a tool like that, so I don't have to manually upload leads or upload them via CVS because they will automatically go on my drip campaign. If you had to do them manually, you'd have to upload the CVS file, send it, and then you'd have to go into all of your contacts one by one and manually put them on drip. Can you imagine how tedious that would be? So, and I did do that at one point. I did have to do that at one point, and it's not fun.
Let me interrupt on this. If you have it zapped where it goes automatically in your CRM, you basically can have these people on a drip campaign right away without lifting a finger, and you're not wasting your time, and you can do what you need to be doing, which is bringing in business.
Yeah, that's right, and
Right?
that's
y'all still there?
Yeah, well, it's just me. They can't
okay.
talk to you right now. If somebody wants to talk,
so
you're free to just let us know. Jim said, is Zapier monthly or annual? He bought it but doesn't remember. It's a monthly fee, so the $20 that you pay is a monthly fee for the 1,000 zaps. I'm sure you can pay it annually, but I've never checked. I mean, it's $20 a month. Sometimes I don't even notice it, but again, for this type of deal with Listing Booster, I'd be willing to bet that you're gonna get over 1,000 emails if you post more than 1 or 2 listings a month inside of groups, because people love to see that stuff. You know, when you post one of your squeeze pages, you don't really check to see because it's not really auto capturing their data. With this one, they just have to simply log in with their Facebook.
Yeah.
Everybody does that. They click, boom, you've got their info. And like I said before, no matter how cold the lead is, now they're getting emails from you and they know who you are. And I'd even maybe set them up on a weekly alert where they get a list of houses from you, even though they didn't request it. Just do it. If they were interested in that house, they're probably interested in more houses. So set them up on a weekly alert where they get like something.
And that's the nice thing about this. Yeah, and you know what area and price range they're interested in because they looked at a certain property. So it's just a really good tool, and it's basically free. Like I said, $12. I think when I got William signed up for it, he bought me a drink and like a snack at Starbucks or something. I mean, I'm going to call that free, pretty much. But in reality, we're RESPA compliant because he basically paid me for it. So if anybody wants to get signed up for this, here's what I would suggest. If you're working with a loan officer already, ask them if they have it. If they don't, friend me and send me a message through Facebook, and I have contacts all over the country of loan officers that are on this. There's actually, I will call it an elite group of people, probably about 100 of us that are in a basically training program that this is one of the tools that we learn how to use really well. There's a good chance that one of them's in your area. I can hook you up with them. You know, they'd probably be happy to talk to you. Maybe y'all can meet for coffee and just get you going on it. I mean, it's a tool it's basically free. Why would you not have it? That's the way I look at it. So like I said, friend me. I'll accept your request and message me, and I'll get you hooked up. If you're in Texas, I will get you signed up on my end. I can only sign people up in Texas. So if you're out of Texas, you got to get with somebody else.
Yeah, Doug will. Our brokerage is based out of Texas, and Doug will be implementing this for the agents here at Realty Hub. And I can keep you guys posted on how Listing Booster works for them in their area, because we have agents in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin. So every market's going to be different. So it'll be it'll be a way for me to test this and get a really good grasp on how it kind of changes from city to city. Because if you guys don't know Texas very well, all 4 of those major cities are completely different from one another, and the demographics are completely different. Ralph said, "I want it." What state are you in? So I can't remember. And Jason asked, "Do I need a lender to use this Listing Hub for $12?" Doug, that's a question for you. Doug, are you still there?
I'm not seeing that one. Yeah, what about the $12?
He's asking, do you have to go through a lender to get it for $12?
Yes. This program is only sold to lenders. There are some other programs out there that you can just get on your own, but they're expensive. Why not just get the one that's basically free? Once again, I'm going to call $12 free, because you're not going to cry if you lost $12 out of your car window, right? So I see a lot of people are putting, the states or the cities that they're in. Like I said, friend me, send me a message with the area that you're in, and I will go to my group and find out who is in that area. And I'll basically probably just do a private message to you with them on it to introduce you, and y'all can take it from there.
Yeah, Ralph's in California.
And these are awesome loan officers. So these loan officers that I know, they're all about bringing value to the market and helping their agents grow. That's the cool thing about them. That's why they have this platform, and they have other platforms too. And most of them are pretty savvy on the marketing stuff, whether it's with this or Facebook. They could definitely be an asset to you. And I'm not getting anything off of this, but I would just like to help people be more successful.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole reason I created this group.
I do want to touch on one thing real quick. Back on the Listing Booster, I mean, you can create just an awesome list of people to market to that you just would not have had before. And like I said, you can create custom audiences in Facebook if you want to pay. But in reality, you could basically use this thing without ever having to spend any ad dollars. Just use your syndicate to get, to help get the information out to more people. And then once you get these leads, just throw them in your CRM. Let your CRM do the work. I mean, if you automate it with Zapier, you really don't have to do much work. And if you were to get one deal off of this, it's going to be worth your time. It's a no-brainer to me. But You got to put a little bit of work in the front part of it, get it all set up. After that, it's on autopilot. And like I said, I know a lender pretty much in every state except maybe Montana and North Dakota. But other than that, I can hook you up with somebody. Just message me. I'll also put a post in the social agent to let people know, you know, they can see it and get my info, or they can just put it in the post. That's about all I have, and I'm sorry I was kind of all over the place. William asked me if I wanted to talk about this last minute, so I didn't really have any sort of script or anything. I was just kind of looking at the dashboard and looking at the things I thought that might benefit y'all from me.
That is actually kind of the way I like to do things. I know everybody is used to going into webinars and all this other stuff that people offer, and it's like super structured. You don't get to talk. You just got to listen, right? I want you guys to be able to interact. I want things to happen naturally. And, you know, we go through things. We make mistakes on tools, and like, you know, Doug had to bounce back and forth between a couple of things. You know, those are the things that you're going to do when you're inside of a new tool and learning how to use it. And I want this to be more of dialogue than it is just talking at you. It's for some of you guys that have taken my training, you guys know how I operate on. There's a little bit of structure, you know, on the call, but for the most part, I'm taking you through exactly how to do everything, how to use Zapier, how to integrate, how to automate everything, how to create an effective ad. I talked to you about marketing. I'm kind of a little all over the place, but I record the session, and I like to think that you guys get pretty good, you know, knowledge from that on how to really navigate the tools, because you're watching me do these things. And if I make a mistake, I go, oh, yep, don't do that. You know, make sure you do it like this. It's a great way for us to all come together and make these things effective. And as we move forward and do different calls, I'm really hoping that next time, I mean, this is our first one, so we've obviously got to go back and look and say, okay, maybe we should do this different or that different. But if there are people out there, I'm really going to want to have at least 3 people talking about different tools that they've come across, and maybe just schedule you in so you know that you're going to be talking at XYZ time about this. But it's still going to be open dialogue. You know, if you have a question like we had in the chat, ask the question. If you want to ask the question to everybody yourself, I'll unmute you and let you do that. That's not a problem. But I think with, you know, Sly Broadcast, there wasn't a whole lot on that, because again, that was more of a kind of a question for me to everyone on here, and what their experience with it was. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of people on here that are doing it, but I think I heard enough from Jason, and Jason, you're welcome. Thank you as well. I'm going to go ahead and sign up for it, and I'm going to test it. I mean, I've got probably 3,000 leads that I can send it to right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and spend the money for the pay-as-you-go and buy the 3,000 and send an email, send a voicemail out. I know Ralph is using it and says that he does pretty well for it, so I'll probably do it with it, and I'll probably do it in sections, and I'll update everybody on how many callbacks I get, how many of those were actual really good conversations or things that could, you know, bring a deal to fruition and possibly close. Same as I do with the leads from my lead generation training. I'm testing out some stuff in a different city right now. I'm in Austin, but I'm testing some things out in Dallas. I'll update people out on the social agent group on how that's going as well. And then, of course, if you need any help from me, you guys all know, or the ones that have talked to me, that if you have questions, I'm not going to just tell you, sign up for my training, and then I'll answer your questions. I answer certain questions, and then if it starts getting too deep, then I'll tell you, okay, we should do this on a training call. But I'm a pretty easy to talk to guy, so if you have any questions or you need any help, feel free to message me and ask me those questions. I do have one more question from Deborah. I got on the call late, so I didn't get all of the info on the Sly Dial. Is there a way I can listen to that after the call? Yes, I'm recording this call and this video, so I will upload that to our YouTube channel, the Realty Hub YouTube channel, and I will send that. I'll post it in the group when it's done. It takes a little while to convert it to the MP4 format, and then I'll have to upload it. But once that's all set, I will send it out to everybody in the group. With all of that said, I hope everyone feels like they got some good information from this call. And when I post the video, I would really appreciate honest feedback so that I know more of what you guys want to see or want to do on the next call. All right, appreciate it, everybody. You guys have a great day, and if you have any questions, just message me directly. Take care.